Students on the Carroll County Student Government Executive Board couldn't wait for the school year to get underway. They held their first meeting the day before school started to begin planning for the year ahead. These motivated students got down to business, but took a little time to have some fun, too.
CCSGA's Advanced Retreat executive board members were invited to come to outdoor school and meet with other executive board members to learn about what was going on in their schools, as well as to learn about the goals and procedures of CCSGA this year.
First, when I walked in, we all got to know each other, and what we did is we did like a name game where everybody got together and we figured out things about each other, such as like the school they came from, what position they had, what they've done for the school, why they got into SGA, what provoked them to do what they did.
One of the reasons we broke into groups of 2 was so that our executive board members could get to know another executive board member, because it's important that everybody knows each other's names and knows a little bit about them so that they can start a conversation. Also, when we had the other partner introduce their partner, that was a good opportunity to practice public speaking and how to form an argument or a conversation with a group of people.
All right. This is Ben. His favorite color is orange. He goes to Liberty. He is the workshop director for Carroll County Student Government Association. He also went to Hershey Park. He also staffed the middle school Maryland Leadership Workshop.
We have different roles. We have appointed staff that serve roles such as parliamentarian and workshop director, and have very specific roles to help CCSGA throughout the year. And then we have our school presidents and vice presidents who take school-based issues and represent their schools to county decision makers. We broke up into groups of presidents, vice presidents, and then executive staff so that the executive board members who were new could understand what that role was, as well as going over goals and getting to know who they could come to if they ever had a problem.
We talked about what our goals were for this year and how to like run our SGA kind of, but they only gave us guidelines, so we planned on what we should do to make ourselves a good SGA and how to plan with other, like make sure we have good communication.
Team building exercises are important for student leaders for various reasons. One is to just break up the monotony of going over issue after issue. It breaks it up and gets students moving so that they can enjoy the workshop, as well as it teaches important lessons like teamwork, working together, problem solving, and also it's a great way to get students out of their comfort zone so other students can see who they're having the opportunity to work with on the executive board for the year.
The human knot is when like everyone's in a circle and one person takes another person's hand and then with their other hand they take someone else's hand also. So you really make a huge human knot and you have to get untangled without ever undoing your hands. So I think I got from that is you can do a lot of, you can't do everything alone. You need to, like, sometimes it's better for just one person to be the leader, but then it was in the human knot, some people would be like, you have to do this, and because each knot was different in some little way. So you had to do a lot of little things to eventually get the whole knot undone.
That means you definitely need to get out. That means you definitely
all 4 of
need to
us
get
can
out.
sit down and everyone can step over us.
Okay. Yes.
Is that me included?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Not the other way, out of the circle. Yeah, get out.
I'm.
All right, now spread out.
Hey, we got one.
There we go.
This is weird.
What? How do we get there? We got like a figure eight. Okay.
We did some working together activities such as like the human knot, and we also did this cross the river game. It's where you have to like help each other cross the river, but you can't step in the water, of course. I believe they are like a great thing to do because you had to communicate, and communication is key to everything. Like you can't learn something without communication. You can't do something without communication. And so for each problem that you communicate with a person so you could undo a mess that you have done or a problem that you need to solve. Such as when we were crossing the river, we had to communicate on our strategy. Like, you can't do something without a strategy.
Carroll County Public Schools consist of various different ages, so we want to make sure we're getting the opinions and we're having the representation of middle schools and high schools. So by bringing in both middle schools and high schools, we were able to get an opinion of what issues were only affecting middle schools, what issues were affecting high schools, and what issues were affecting Carroll County system-wide.
I was a little intimidated because I was one of the only middle schools there, and there was all high schoolers and they were all seniors, and I was like, I felt like an outcast, but then I realized that it doesn't really matter, like, your age, you're still a part of it, so I felt like I fit in.
I think it's very important that the middle schools and high schools with the exec board get together because they need to, I feel like if they communicate better, we can also grow better because high schools have gone through what middle schools have already gone through, so we can learn from them and get better.
It's important that we set a good baseline of where we want to go, because if students don't know where CCSGA as an organization is going, then we really don't know where to start. So by laying out our goals and what we wanted to accomplish this year, it set a good baseline for planning events that we were holding this year, workshops that delegates would be able to attend, and showing students how we could help reach the goals that CCSGA has set for the year.
I hope I took out of it, like, the success that other people have done and what they show, and so hopefully I'll take that and make this year a great success, and everybody will have so much fun this year, and people will enjoy it, and they'll actually get to their goals and succeed in what they do. And I also hope that I will be able to do the same thing as years pass and hopefully be successful.
Based on a solid science